Should I do this or should I do that? It seems like I'm faced with hard decisions all day long. How am I supposed to make all these decisions? Hey entrepreneurs, welcome back to Leader's Journey. I'm Vicky Brown. Yep, I'm sure you've quickly found out that decision making is a huge part of being an entrepreneur. And many times those decisions are not the easy ones like coffee or tea. Well, there is a process you can follow to help make difficult decisions. The first step is to disengage your emotions. When we're first faced with a decision, it can feel overwhelming, or fear can creep in. Fear of the unknown outcome, or making a bad choice, or just plain not wanting to make a choice. Whenever this happens to me, I remember that I'm an entrepreneur, and the main thing entrepreneurs do all day long is problem solving. Need to get more market share? Solve the problem of how to reach your customers more effectively. Need more output? Solve the problem of motivating your team to be more productive. Client giving you grief? Solve the problem of how to better partner with them so you both get the outcome you want. See, it's all problem solving. And facing a tough decision is just more problem solving. It's important that you look at it that way, because if you start seeing the problem as something bigger than you, something happening to you, well, that can make you feel helpless and powerless. But remember, you always have the power, because you always have choices. Now, sure, some choices are better than others, and some might not look good on paper, but they are choices nonetheless. So don't ever let yourself think that you're stuck, because you aren't. You always have choices. Now that you have the emotions out of the way, think carefully about what outcome you want. So many times we focus on what we don't want to happen, but we don't spend any time figuring out what we actually want to happen. So what do you want? What does that look like? What does it feel like? What is the benefit of the outcome you want? If you got it, what would be your next step? How would it move you along to your ultimate vision? You see, you can't get away from it. Everything either moves you closer to or farther from your vision. When you hold your vision top of mind, it'll guide your decision making. Okay, you know the outcome you want. Now figure out how to get that. Determine what options are available and what are the potential outcomes. Look at the options carefully. Sure, you can quickly discard the ones that don't make sense or would require more resources than you could reasonably provide. But be very careful here, because when we dismiss something out of hand, oh, that's way too expensive. Oh, that would take way too much time. Oh, I could never do that. I don't have the skills, talent, time. When we do that without really considering what resources we do have at the ready, we can miss a golden opportunity. So as you're going through this process, think about how you could get the skills, talent, time, etc. that might make that option a viable option. Now, grab a piece of paper or hop on your laptop and create a pros and cons list for each of the options. I know, it might sound time-consuming, but a cold, hard, black and white list is still the best way to clearly evaluate one thing against another. And again, back to resources. What resources would you need for each? And how would you get them if you don't have them already? All right. By now you've done a huge amount of due diligence. Now it's time to get some advice. And no, I don't mean ask your sister or her hairdresser or the guy in the office suite next to you or one of your friends from college. I mean, pick one or at most two trusted advisors, people who know you, who know your situation, and have some business chops of their own. Seek them out and ask their opinion. And once they give it, take it under advisement. Remember, just because someone you trust says do this, doesn't mean you have to do this. You may ultimately decide that that is better for you. It's advice, not a directive. Take it, Ask questions if you have them, and then put all that additional information in the pot. You can consider it as you're coming to a final decision. I can't stress this enough. You are the entrepreneur. It's your decision, no one else's, and you have the responsibility and accountability for making it. Don't try to abdicate your responsibility. It's yours and yours alone. Now, you figured out what outcome you want, weighed the options, sought out advice from a trusted source. Now sit back, think about the various outcomes, and see how they make you feel. Yep, now that you've put your emotions aside and done all this analysis, now it's time to check in with your gut. Most times after getting access to the right information, you can trust your gut to point you in the right direction. You have good instincts after all. You're an entrepreneur. If you found this helpful, but want to go deeper, check out the Leader's Journey Business Builder. I designed this completely free video series to help you with figuring out who your customer is and where to find her, how to sell without selling, how to package and deliver your service, and much, much more. Check it out by using the link leadersjourneyexperience.com. And if you found this information helpful, please subscribe and share. And remember, your inspired leadership is the secret sauce to having a high-performance team and a wildly successful business you'll love. I'll see you next time on Leader's Journey.